Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how I've made this beautiful little pebble pool here in my gravel garden. Now this is all based around a solar powered fountain which was sent to me by a company called Biling, and I have done a complete box opening video on that product if you want to know a little bit more detail about it. And I will link to that box opening in the description box below this video. But for now, without further ado, let me demonstrate how I've made this wonderful little relaxing water feature. I found this steel urn buried in my garden. I have no idea what the original use was. It's got a rounded bottom. Perhaps it was for making jam, perhaps it was doing washing in, I don't know. If you do know, let me know in the comments below this video. So I want to make a water feature with this. I want it to be sunken into this gravel. And whilst I have got several fountain options, what I want is a little bubbling effect. I want to hide the pond pump with some pebbles or some stones. And I also need to do something to hide the cable, which will be coming over the edge of the pot like this. I will also need to do something to protect wildlife, because I don't want wildlife falling in and not being able to get out. So those are the issues I want to address. But the first thing I really need to do is move the gravel to one side and dig a hole so that that becomes sunken. So I'll dig that hole now. I'll do that in fast forward. I'll see you in about 10 seconds time. So there's the pot already sunken, and I'm already delighted with the effect I'm getting here. I'm just going to check the level, because when it's full of water or nearly full of water, the water surface will make it really obvious if it's not level, and I don't want to do that because my OCD will kick in. Right, so let's just make sure that that is nice and level in several different directions. Just making some adjustments by hand. That is now perfectly level, and I'm just going to agitate the gravel here so that it goes in around the edge and fills the gap, so that will make it slightly more secure. Now that pond pump has to be underneath the water, and the spout has to be outside of the water surface, above the water. So I need to find a level where it's going to be. Ideally, I want the water surface to be about the same level as the ground level just outside, so it kind of continues the same plane, if you like. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some bricks in the bottom just to lift up the water pump to the level which I think is going to be about right. So you can see here I'm keeping it central, which is where I want the bubble to be, but I need it to be lifted up slightly. So let's go up another brick like that, and that is going to be about right when that starts to bubble like a cauldron. And I only want that bit really emerging from the surface. Keep the wire on this side because that's where the wire direction is, in that direction over to the solar panel. Now the next thing I need to do is fill this space with some cobbles and some boulders. Now whenever I am digging in the garden, I always find boulders or pebbles, and I collect them, and that's exactly what's in this bucket here, a bucket full of natural looking boulders or pebbles. I'm going to give them a good wash now for two reasons. I want the water to start off clean, so I'm going to wash all the dirt off, but also these pebbles will be wet when they get put into that water feature, so I want to keep the ones that are most attractive for the top where they'll be seen. So let's give these a good soak and a good wash. The first thing I'm going to do is fill up this volume around the base with some big ugly old lumps of concrete which I had in the garden, there's not much point wasting attractive looking stones in the bottom here, so we'll just take up that bit of volume with some old bits of ugly concrete, and then we can start adding nice looking pebbles on the top. And of course, all the time that I'm doing this, I'm mindful of the fact that I do need a nice flat surface to sit that on. And now I can start putting in the more natural looking boulders, protecting the wire at all times. I don't want to damage that wire, so I'll look after that. What I will now build up some rather attractive looking large boulders around the edge here, and I'm going to keep the smaller ones for on top so that we can keep it nice and shallow with smaller pebbles here. And I'm very, very pleased with that. I can't wait to get this filled up with water, and I still need to find a way of hiding the wire, but what I can do is put the solar panel discreetly at the back of that plant there where we won't see it, and I can bury this wire into the gravel. It's just this little tiny bit here that I want to hide, just for aesthetics more than anything else. I'm going to come up with an idea for that whilst it's filling up with water. Then we're going to plug it in. So I have come up with a solution to hide this tiny piece of wire here. I went down to my wildlife pond and I've just pulled out a little bit of pond plant. Now this is beautiful in yellow, and there's an aloe striatula right there which is yellow, so the two should pick each other up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug that in behind this pebble at the back there, and it perfectly hides the wire which is now completely hidden, very discreetly, and it adds a little bit of colour. Right, the next thing I need to do is turn it on. That just involves plugging it in to the solar panel. Right, you want to see that? Let me bring the camera closer and I'll go and plug it in. So there it is working, and I'm very, very happy with that. And that's the bubbling effect that I wanted, and it may not be what you want, so I'm just going to demonstrate now some of the different effects you can get with some of these different tops. So let's just take that one off, and you can see already by removing that one which was dispersing the power, it's even more of a bubble. You also get different attachments. So I'm now going to put a fountain in. I may well get wet when I do this. And there is a fountain. And you get several different fountains. I shall swap them out. You just take the disc off and offer up a different one. Now the problem with the fountain is the water will blow out and I'll have to top it up, but if you're using it for a different application, that might not be a problem. Here's another one. And of course, there is also this one, which I quite like, which gives a kind of a film. So there you go, my solar powered pebble pool provided by Biling. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you like this. I think it's a really nice feature. Biling have supported me, so please do me a favour, have a look at their links in the description box below this video, and I'll see you soon for some more Biling water feature adventures. Bye for now.